Good evening, Lacrosse fans, and welcome to Andre Reed Stadium here on the campus of beautiful Kutztown University for today's women's lacrosse matchup in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference between your Kutztown University Golden Bears and the number 12 ranked Westchester University Golden Rams. Darren Yergin on the call tonight, bringing you all the action here from Andre Reed Stadium. Golden Bears come in with a 5-4 overall record, 2-2 in the PSAC. Westchester undefeated so far this season, 9-0 overall and 4-0 tops in the PSAC. So it's going to be a tough test for the Golden Bears tonight. They've certainly passed the last two with flying colors, 14-8 win at Gannon and a 17-10 win at home on Tuesday night against Bloomsburg. But kind of when you look at the standings, Gannon down towards the bottom, Bloomsburg somewhere in the middle, and Westchester at the top. So kind of this natural progression of playing better and better competition here in the last two, and now what will be the third game here in just about 5 days for the Golden Bears, and their task is certainly in front of them in facing a number 12 nationally ranked team that is undefeated and traditionally a solid program. But, you know, this is really an opportunity for KU, as much as it wants to come out with a win, but to make a statement in a variety of ways. Sure, coming out with that upset victory would be huge, but more than anything else, keeping the game close and showing that they can be competitive against the top team in the conference, that certainly can go a long way. So we're going to run down the lineups here as the KU lineups being announced over the PA. So for Westchester first, like we said, the number 12 Golden Rams coming in with the 9-0 overall record, 4-0 in the PSAC, coached by Ginny Martino in her 20th season. She's assisted by Sue Burmester. So starters for the Golden Rams, Staska, McKinney, Barnett, Schultz, Lynch, and Stella make up the midfield. On defense, Reinhardt, Jebri, Zuccarello are the three defenders, and up top, Altman and Morrissey with Clemens in net. For Kutztown, tonight's starters for head coach Jackie Stezzi in her first season has enjoyed some success here in the last two games. Like we said, KU on a two-game winning streak and above 500 overall with that 5-4 record. And even mark in the PSAC, Coach Stezzi in her first season, assisted by Kristen McGrath. So the starters tonight for KU in the midfield, Watkins, Fitzpatrick, Schmidt, and Smith. In defensive end, Vaughn, Lehman, Darcy, and Hill. And the attackers, Carlucci, Gabriel, and Bowman. And in goal, Haley Klein. We'll step aside here for the national anthem and be right back with more action here from Andre Reed Stadium. All right, so we ran down the starting lineups, and we're back here now from Andre Reed, just about set to get this one underway, and a big one in the PSAC. Like we said, the top team in the league, number 12 Westchester, undefeated. So Kutztown looking to put the first loss on Westchester's season here this year. Kutztown coming in with a 2-2 record, sitting down towards the middle of the table, but a lot of teams separated by just a few games. You got Millersville, Lockhaven, and IUP all with 3 wins, 3-2, just above KU, and then Bloomsburg, who KU just beat at 4-2. So an opportunity to not only make a statement in the PSAC, but certainly climb your way up the standings. With the playoff season looming here somewhat next 3 or so weeks, the PSAC quarterfinals set to get underway on Tuesday, May 1st. So you still have 8 conference games left, but here over the next 5 days, you've got 3 of them, and then you are currently in the midst of a stretch which began against Bloomsburg on Tuesday of 6 games in a 2-week span. And really, when you look at it, because of the way the schedule's shaken out, this is really going to be the point in the schedule that KU kind of points to and says this is why we're in the playoffs, or this is why we aren't at the end of the year. If they look back and they're able to maybe come out with a 4-2 record in this stretch of 6 games, that certainly bodes well. But coming away 3-3, 2-4, 1-5, that's really going to be the difference for KU as the season progresses. But the team's set to go here. Westchester defending the goal on the left side of your stream. KU going to be in net on the right. So moving right to left will be the Golden Bears. Left to right will be the Golden Rams. Westchester in their purple road jerseys with white numbers, and KU in their traditional home whites and maroon numbers. Numbers nice and easy to see tonight. I know we had a little trouble against Bloomsburg, both our stat team and me up here, especially distinguishing between 6, 8, and 9. But tonight I think we should be all set, and that paves way for the opening draw here from Andre Reed Stadium as we get this one set to go underway. Opening draw happening here at 7:02. Temperature tonight, brisk 40 degrees, but with the way the weather's been lately, as the draw control scrambled for there, and it looks like KU's going to come up with it. That's Gabriel with it in the midfield. The way the weather's been lately, you'll take anything dry, and relatively windless tonight. The flag sitting completely limp out here to my left past the end zone, so not a whole lot of wind tonight, no rain, and a little cool, but pretty good weather for Lacrosse here on April 5th. Foul there on KU as they controlled the initial draw with Gabriel, but Gabriel then turned it over in the midfield, and that got the ball back to Westchester. Rams moving it in, and poor play made there. That's 27, Maggie Stello, who just kind of lost it going upfield, and she'll commit a foul in trying to get it back. Gabriel controls. Westchester putting pressure on, and they're able to force the turnover there, as now the Golden Rams look to move it into the offensive end. Madison Staska, the junior from Westchester, Bishop Shanahan High School product, moves it in, and now the Golden Rams set up. And I know before the game saw a lot of weave action happening from Westchester, and I think we're going to see that early on as they work the ball around the offensive end, but only a matter of time till we see a couple handoffs and trying to get that curl action going. Curl good there as number 19, Sammy Barnett, had a chance inside, but will elect to back it out. Good dodge move there. Defense by KU, but it will be a foul as Tatum Altman is fouled, the sophomore from North Brunswick, New Jersey, drawing the first free position of the game. Altman, second on the team this season with 25 goals. She also leads the squad with 11 assists and 36 points, ranks just behind Sammy Barnett. So Barnett and Altman, kind of that 1-2 punch for the Golden Rams on the inside. Here is Altman with it, shot, and right past Klein. So Westchester opens this game with a goal, and with 28-13 left here in the first half, WCU up 1-0. So you see Altman taking advantage of her opportunity there, especially after drawing the foul and converting on the free position. And, this kind of goes to what I was going to talk about, a theme here. KU has been pretty successful, especially when trailing this season, kind of shown that ability to respond from adversity that has certainly led to 2 wins most recently, but it's kept them in most of the games that they've played in this year. That's going to be a major key, is to continue to battle with Westchester throughout the night, not allow them to go on a 4, 5, 6 goal run like KU was able to do against Bloomsburg. You cannot allow something like that. You got to keep the game at a manageable distance. Sure, you'd love to have a lead, but if you can keep it close late, you never know what can happen, and it's kind of similar to those Cinderella teams in March Madness. You just want to keep the game within distance, and a few things might go your way, and you might end up on the winning side, similar to what we saw Loyola do during this year's NCAA tournament, making the run all the way to the Final Four. Ball into the offensive end, now turned over. Kind of a sloppy play down there, but eventually the Golden Rams come down with it. And, we had a little bit of discussion pregame about, whether that ball is supposed to get down on the turf. And I think you see, anytime that the ball hits the ground, more times than not, it's going to be a turnover as far as either the other team's going to come up with it or you're going to have to commit a foul in order to try to get the ball back. So taking care of the ball is going to be paramount in this one, especially for KU. I mean, goals are going to be at a premium. Westchester is going to have their way on the offensive end. You've got to value each possession when you are able to get the ball. Behind the net, looking for a cutter. That was Morrissey looking for Lynch. Golden Rams with the ball up top, now back behind. Morrissey with it, so the Downingtown, PA product, and she's able to curl all the way around and get a quick goal, beating Klein. So Morrissey was kind of playing that decoy behind the net, looking for somebody to feed it off to, but if nobody's there, she curls right around herself and gets Westchester's second goal of the game. That's scored by number 16, Tara Morrissey. For Morrissey, that's her 15th of the season, and one shot, one goal for Tara. Good way to start here, and like we said, now that's 2 in a row. And for KU, got to look at winning this draw control. Looks like that's Watkins in the circle right now. And more than anything, just got to try to come out with this ball and work a solid offensive possession. You look great on offense against Bloomsburg, especially in that second half, outscoring the Huskies 9-1. But it's going to be, I mean, you're definitely going against some stiffer competition. That's actually Gabriel in there. My fault. It looked like Watkins. Watkins on the left side. Around the circle, Devin Fitzpatrick flanking Gabriel behind, and Gabriel in the middle. Draw control, scrambled for, but Fitzpatrick is able to come away with it. Fitzpatrick on the far end, moves it up front. Double team there as ball is worked back. That was Schmidt working it back to Lehman. Lehman now running up the far side. Lehman's got wheels, and she will be able to move it into the offensive end. Lehman can keep going if she wants, and will do so as she goes around the net, loses the ball for a second, but I believe a foul is going to be called there on the Golden Rams as Lehman is going to control behind. So on the offensive end right now for Kutztown around the key, you've got Lehman, Bowman, Watkins, Schmidt, and that's 29 Smith, and then on the inside, believe that is Gabriel, and then back on the far side behind the net, that's Carlucci. So that's kind of what you're going to see a lot as far as the offensive setup. Those 6 or 7 in the zone. Gabriel setting a screen for Watkins, who tried to come around. Nothing there as Bowman controls out front and is surveying the field. Good possession here by KU. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Watkins loses the ball for a moment, and a scramble for it. Can Destiny pick it up? Yes, she can. She streaks towards the net. Bounce shot. Great save there as Watkins nearly had KU on the board. What a save made there by the Golden Ram goaltender. KU with it back out front. Now that's Smith with it. Smith looks for Bowman. Able to find her target. Bowman tripped up, and a foul going to be called on the Golden Rams on the far side back in the end zone area. Bowman to reset with 25:49 left here in the first half. KU down 2 early to the number 12 ranked Westchester Golden Rams. Pass there from Bowman. Oh, it was a good look, and that was intended for Schmidt. She was unable to come up with it, but KU who somehow finds a way to come up with it. We have a player down for Westchester, but the referee's going to allow KU to play on. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Smith looking for Fitzpatrick on the far side. Shot by Fitzpatrick, and that is saved once again. Not sure if it went off the bar, but it somehow stays out, and that's 2 great opportunities for KU early on, and the save going to be credited there to Julianne Clemens. So KU can't get discouraged. That was a good possession, which featured 2 good shots there on the offensive end, but none of them find the mesh, and Westchester looking to move it out. Into the middle of the field, that's broken up by Watkins. Watkins, ball kicked around, almost scooped up there by Fitzpatrick, but the ground ball there for number 4, Molly Reinhart, the sophomore from Sinking Springs, PA. Reinhart moves it into the front end, and now Westchester can set up shop up 2 and looking to add. Stella on the near side. Golden Rams have kind of been using that ball behind the net, especially with Morrissey. We've seen her looking to feed, but she was able to score in curling around from that spot. So Morrissey definitely provides a litany of options for WCU, whether it be passing the rock or doing it herself, as we saw in that last possession. Fakes the flip off there, does number 8, Tatum Altman. Altman with some good movement there. Good feed inside. That shot high from Brenna Lynch, but it will stay with the Golden Rams. But that's kind of that curl action that we saw a lot from Westchester during warm-ups, And Altman faked that flip, kind of like a dribble handoff in basketball, but faked the dribble handoff and was nearly able to curl around to get to the net. Driving in is Sammy Barnett. She'll back it out. And in front, Barnett is rolled up. And that's going to be a foul call there. I think it's going to go on Darcy, but definitely on KU. And Barnett with a chance at a free position. We've seen Haley Klein make some big saves this year, and with her team down 2, they could certainly use one, especially from this angle, as I expect Barnett to shoot. Barnett, the leading scorer on the team with 28 goals this year. Bounce shot through the legs of Klein, but it hits off the pipe, and Klein comes up with it in her own crease. So Klein got a piece of it, give her credit, but also the ball just kind of didn't want to go in, and for KU, they'll certainly take that. Watkins on the run, and she's got a ton of space in front of her. She's going to move into the offensive end, dump off there to Bowman. Bowman hounded on the inside, looking to get rid of it. Bowman fakes the pass, back inside. Now out of control is Bowman, but the ball lost and come back up with does Fitzpatrick, and she'll reset. That's Watkins on the far side. Watkins surveying. Now back behind the X spot, looking for a cutter in front. She might have had Carlucci, but she elected better of it, working it back around to Smith. So good offensive possession last time for KU, even though it did not get a goal, and they got to continue to press like that. Shot by Gabriel from a far distance out, and that one's saved easily by Clemens. So Clemens has made some unbelievable saves on the doorstep, but that one, not really much trouble for the Westchester goaltender, and sure, that's going to be a push in the back there. Rough play by Sarah Gebri, the senior from Furlong, PA, and she commits the infraction as KU continues with possession. That's Bowman up top, looking for Fitzpatrick. Got Devin. Devin with the left hand over towards Watkins. Fumbles it, but now has it here on the near side. Watkins back up to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick going to beat her cover there. That was number 28, Kate Zuccarello on defense. Watkins thought about her. Fitzpatrick thought about beating her one-on-one, but again, electing to work it around. I like the patience shown by KU here early on, despite being down 2 goals, knowing that these offensive possessions may be at a premium, and you got to convert, especially after missing out on the last one. That's Carlucci up top. Carlucci, 5th on the team with 13 goals, and Carlucci's also added 6 assists this year. That's Maddie with it again. KU trying to run a stack play. 30 seconds now on the shot clock for the Golden Bears. Haven't had much on the inside this possession. As I say that, Watkins takes it to the net, and she will draw the foul. So that's kind of what you see when you start working the ball around the perimeter. The defense can start to get a little bit lackadaisical. They fall asleep for a second. Watkins gets herself into the offensive zone, and now she'll have an opportunity on the free position to cut the deficit in half. Watkins on the near side. 15 goals on the season for Destiny. Sophomore from Emmaus. Ready for that ref's whistle. And a lot of times you'll see the player shoot to the far side of the post. Goalie's got that near side covered. So Watkins has that far side if she wants it. She could also maybe try to put it through the legs of Clemens, who has been tough to solve here early. Watkins, inside shot, and she gets drilled on the inside. Not sure what the call is going to be here. Looks like Watkins is going to draw a free position again. And actually, nope, it looks, yep, so Watkins is going to draw a free position again, and a card is given here on Westchester. So it looks like number 6, Madison Staska, is going to serve the penalty sitting down there. And Watkins now headed to the net. So the foul went on Stella, and so Stella now in the box. That's actually Staska to check in. Shot by Watkins, wide, but KU will retain possession. Carlucci behind the net. KU a player up. Pass inside to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick on the doorstep and denied by Clemens. So KU, again, doing a nice job on offense, but the goalie standing on her head early on, as Julianne Clemens has made a couple huge saves and now has the ball back to her and will have time to collect. Actually, they're going to call a foul. So on the far side, Westchester will have possession. So that foul went on Stella around the 21-29 mark. So it's a 2-minute penalty. So at about 19:29 is when Stella will check back in. If KU can get a turnover here, it'll have the opportunity still playing a player up, but Westchester able to break the press, even down a man. And now that's worked over there to Morrissey. Morrissey up top, having trouble with it, hounded by Watkins, and looks like Watkins going to be called for the foul out top. Nope, it looks like the ball going to go back over to KU. So good pressure by Destiny. Foul committed there by Morrissey. And back to Watkins. KU got about a minute still on the man advantage. And they got to go. Watkins trying to take it on herself. Has options if she wants them. Whistle blown as Watkins goes for the quick reset. Finds Fitzpatrick. She should be able to clear it into the offensive zone and does. That's Gabriel on the far side. Gabriel inside. Smith with it but cannot handle the pass. Smith able to knock it away, but a foul called there on the check by Smith. So that's one of those. It's a good pass by Gabriel into a tight window, but Smith has got to be able to come down with that, as now it looks like KU's going to miss out on their opportunity with the man up with just 30 seconds remaining. And Westchester in possession. Looks like the Golden Rams are going to clear the zone and move it into the offensive end. That's Altman on the far side. Altman with speed is fouled by Watkins, and if you're Coach Stezzi, that's a smart foul there by Watkins, but actually it looks like they're going to get Watkins for a card, so I thought it was just a simple foul, which stopped the progress of Altman, and would have really been a smart play by Destiny, but instead that's going to put Watkins in the box, and really the tables turned quickly on KU as it had a man advantage, but now it will be playing even strength here for about 30 seconds, maybe only 20, and then WCU will be playing a man up here for about a minute 40, and this is going to be a big stop for KU. But we saw how Westchester did it. They were able to pack their players in, force a turnover in front of the net, and move the ball forward, milk some time off the clock, down a player. Inside the Rams, and the pass was there, and fortunately for KU, that one's going to go all the way out of bounds. So not really anything Kutztown did on that play, but a pass from Barnett could not find Emily Schultz, the junior from Harleysville, Pennsylvania, North Penn High School product. Goes back to KU, but quickly Westchester comes back up with it. Schultz on the near side. KU now playing a player down as Westchester's Stella has returned, and that one is going to be a foul. So a free position here for the Golden Rams, as they're now on the advantage, and that's Stella, who just came back in after drawing the penalty with the opportunity to atone for her sins here on the near side. 19:03 left, Westchester up 2, but kind of looking for that magic number in 3, free position, but was that almost like a false start there? I don't know if the referee even blew the whistle, but Stella was eager to get to the net. Unfortunately for KU, that shot actually bounded off the underneath side of the bar. Kutztown might have been able to come up with it, but instead they're basically just going to reset everybody, and we're going to do it all over again. Stella on the near side, midfielder, junior from Doylestown, looking to make good. Now referees have them all set where they want, and we're back under play. Stella shot, Stella goal, as that one Klein didn't have much of a chance on. Stella with a lot of room there on the free position, and she goes on the far side to beat Klein. And now that's 3 in a row for the Golden Rams. And, again, for KU, their defense had its work cut out for them tonight against Westchester just in general. And then when you take a penalty like that and allow the Golden Rams possession in your own end, playing a man down, it's just not going to go well for you if you're the Golden Bears. But 2 really good offensive possessions. This game could easily be 3-2 right now, or maybe even 2-2 if you're able to avoid taking the penalty. But you've got to take some sentiment in that and really just look to get back on the horse here, get yourself on the board, and then see if you can go on a run similar to what you did the other night. Down 3-0, 18:23 left here in the first half. Draw control and scramble for it. Gabriel had a chance at it. Gabriel still fighting for it. Back towards Fitzpatrick. She's unable to come up with it. Ball's being kicked around, rolling around like a top down there, but unfortunately, Westchester comes away with it, and now that's Stella moving it into the offensive end. Near side here, that's Trisha Ball, the freshman from West Deptford. One of the early substitutions here for the Golden Rams. We're approaching the halfway mark here, about 2 minutes ahead of the halfway mark in the first half, and KU really has been solid. It hasn't been a terrible game, but just a couple opportunities that they'd love to have back. One on the free position from Destiny Watkins, up a man, and then a couple on your first possession. We're not able to convert, and really just some outstanding saves by Julianne Clemens is the difference right now. Back behind the net. KU defense looking strong, at least not giving up anything easy. But just as I say that, looks like Darcy may be drawing a penalty. As ball going to go back behind the net, and Morrissey now with the opportunity to reset. As a penalty called, big reset as the ball wasn't even back behind there, but nonetheless, referees make the choice that way, and Westchester able to reset. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense by Hill to keep the player out. That player was balled. Scramble for it as Klein has to come out of the net. There on the bouncing ball, but on the near side, that's Smith with it. She's got Darcy if she wants her, but a foul going to be called. Smith over towards Darcy. Darcy feeling some pressure, has a wide open player there, and elects to launch a little further up and Lehman now found in the midfield there by Riley Hill. Lehman has the ball knocked away, but KU going to draw the foul as Lehman will take it on the reset. Lehman on the far side, a tough pass, a ill-advised one, but Michaela Bowman comes away with it anyway. Bowman kind of just had to run through the Westchester attacker there, but ends up with it. And now Michaela all over the place as she's just looking to find a way to get rid of it. Megan Vaughn with it. Vaughn, nice little move there from the defender on the left hand. Vaughn circling back into her own end. KU just having trouble moving this into the offensive end. Vaughn doing a whole lot of nothing with the ball, but will draw the foul. As she will look there. That one was intended for, I believe, Fitzpatrick in the midfielder. Is intended for Watkins, but it goes under the stick of Watkins, and the Golden Rams eventually come up with it. So as much as the game is really dependent on what you do on, kind of in your own end and on your offensive end, a lot of the game happens in the transition area between the 25, 30-yard lines, and right there, KU just could not find anybody open, couldn't move the ball up the field and complete the clear, and now that just gives the Golden Rams another opportunity. And in that transition area against Bloomsburg, we saw both Amanda Lehman and Michaela Bowman do an excellent job of kind of putting the team on their back and running that ball up the field themselves. And sure, it's a tougher task to do against Westchester, but KU is just kind of getting too cute with it in the midfield, trying to make too many passes. And I think Coach Stezzi would agree as that shot off. Boy, it looked like Klein didn't see it. Luckily for her, it does not end up in the back of the net, the shot from Altman. But yeah, I think Coach Stezzi would agree, just trying to be a little bit too cute in the midfield, and there's no reason that Megan Vaughn should be handling the ball that much as a defender on the back end, but she really just had nowhere to go with it. And now a foul called on the inside. It looks like Watkins. Not a card this time, but it is going to be a free position now for Maggie Stella. This game's been moving quick here. We are now underneath the halfway mark, 14:46 left in the first half. 3-0 the score. So it hasn't been the KU defense, but it's been the lack of offense for KU that's really hurt it, and now it's going to be looking at a 4-0 deficit thanks to Stella's second goal on the free position in as many chances. And for Stella, that is her 25th of the season, as Westchester will now take a 4-0 lead. So just while we have a little break in action, only one other game going on today, but we'll update you on the two games that have happened since the last time we played. Actually, KU is going to take a timeout. So I'll press pause on that as we press pause on the game, and we'll be right back here from Andre Reed Stadium with score Westchester 4 and KU 0 with 14:41 left here in the first half. You're watching Kutztown University Women's Lacrosse on the Golden Bear Network. Back in action here. Draw control. Set to go. 14:41 left here in the first half, and KU needs a comeback. It has done well with that here in the last 2 games, especially in the second half, playing outstanding lax on their way to 2 wins at Gannon and then most recently against Bloomsburg. But they have certainly got their work cut out for them. Down 4, and now the Golden Rams win the draw control, and Maggie Stella into the offensive end. And you know, sometimes it can be like when you're a little kid and you get put in timeout. I think that's exactly what happened for Maggie Stella. She goes to the penalty box, and she looks renewed after being put in timeout, scoring 2 goals, and Stella really having a good day for the purple and gold, at least here in the first half. Foul committed there, as that was Altman threatening on the inside. Foul's going to go there on Vaughn, and now Altman, the second leading scorer on Westchester, having a chance at a free position right in front. Altman with 1 already today. She elects to pass it off, and I think KU will take that every time. Altman had a chance right in front of the net. That one passed off, but eventually finds Alex Wending, and the junior from Westchester deposits it in the back of the net, and it is now 5-0. And as they say, it is put up or shut up time here early as KU's down 5, and it can go one of 2 ways. It could go swiftly rolling down a hill towards disaster, or KU could find a way to make a comeback. But this is about the time where it's got to happen. As we were saying there before Coach Desi took the timeout, and we pressed pause on that thought. So we'll play it now as on Wednesday, April 5th, around the PSAC, ESU with a 17-12 win. So East Stroudsburg getting a win at home over Lock Haven. And then today, the only action today besides this game, Bloomsburg winning in non-conference action, 12-9 at Shepherd. So the Huskies down in West Virginia here on a Thursday as they get the win. And KU, again, looking to keep pace with those teams kind of in the middle of the pack as Bloomsburg is, and certainly, you know, Lock Haven and IUP as I look down the table. This is a big one, but just as important for KU not only to get a result here tonight, certainly to make something out of this game, now trailing by 5, but to win these next 2 at home against Edinboro and Slippery Rock, both those teams under you in the standings. And again, this is going to be that stretch of the schedule where if you're unable to make the playoffs or really make a push for it, it's going to be these games that you look back towards. Not only a string of 6 games in 2 weeks, but 4 straight at home. And you've got to do your best in defending your home field. And so far, KU's done a nice job this year, 3-1 at home, but is looking at possibly going to 3-2 as the ball scrambled for on the inside. Not a lot of possession, and it's being kicked around there in a mad dash for the ball. Who's going to come out with it? And it is the Golden Rams. Smartly flipped back to the goaltender as now Westchester able to reset. So very much in contrast to what we saw on Tuesday night, and I think we have discussed it up here in the press box a little bit during our time in between goals. It just kind of a sloppy play from KU, especially on the offensive end in the first half. Just not crisp and connecting on those passes. And like we said, when the ball hits the turf, bad things happen. And so far, that's what's happened to KU here in the first half. They've turned the ball over a bunch of times in their own offensive end, and Westchester has really made it look kind of easy now, up 5-0 and threatening for more. That's Stella with it on the near side. Stella setting the screen, and here's the weave action we've seen. Altman comes around. Altman back on the left. She's got room in front. Gabriel defending. What a save there by Klein, as that high shot from Altman had a heat seeker towards the back of the net, and Klein says no as she is able to go up high and make the save. Fitzpatrick now into the offensive end, looking to answer. Fitzpatrick takes a triple team and decides to back it out. Back out here to Smith on the near side. Smith up top. Surveying, and now that's Bowman with it. KU, this is a huge possession here. Now as it ticks down towards 10 left in the first half, you need 1 goal to get something started. Back behind the net, that's Lehman. Lehman curling around. She is sandwiched there, and a foul called as the Westchester, it looks like a collection of Reinhardt and Barnett made up that sandwich. And Lehman knocked to the deck, and she will earn the free position on the far side. So Lehman getting an opportunity against Clemens, and so far no one has wanted any part of Clemens, as she has made every save she's had to, and continues to pass the test on the free position. Far side, that's Lehman's shot, and it's high and in over the stick of Clemens. So Lehman solves the Clemens puzzle and gets KU on the board as KU cuts into the deficit, now trails 5-1 with 11:05 here left in the first half. A big goal there for Lehman, and Lehman primarily isn't your number one scorer, not in the top 5 on the team in goals, but somebody who can do a variety of things out on the field. We've seen her with her athleticism, moving the ball upfield, primarily in the midfield role, but Lehman does a nice job, looks comfortable in front of the net, and gets a big goal, and she gets much needed or a much deserved congratulations from her team, as they know how big that one was. It was a 5-goal deficit, and it was starting to look like it was going to get out of hand. But cutting it to 4 with the opportunity to make it 3 or 2 before the half, KU's still in it, hanging on. And a big part of that is thanks to the big goal there by Lehman on the free position. Draw control now, Gabriel. Whistle was late, and Gabriel... Actually, it looks like the whistle was on time, but Stella moved early, so she commits the foul, and now Gabriel trying to move it into the offensive end, and this is kind of where we saw KU have some trouble in the transition area. Gabriel taking the double team, and she will lose it, but it looks like a foul is called. Actually, our referee doesn't know what she wants to call there on the far side. Now she's going to give the ball over to Westchester, so that's a tough spot for Gabriel to be, but as a senior, she's got to show a little bit better, skill there, but also just be a little bit more aware of her surroundings. She had some other players open around her, but kind of got trapped into focusing on the double team, and the double team forces the turnover. Back behind the net, approaching 10 minutes left here in the first half. Westchester looking to set up. Look to see if they start to run some of their weaving action here. Now in the end zone behind the net. That's Altman with it, the outstanding attacker. Altman back up top. She finds Barnett. Altman to Barnett. Barnett with the shot, and that one off. Klein finds a way to pick it up in front of goal. Klein finds Smith behind the net. Smith now surveying the field, and she will move it forward. Looking to beat Altman to the corner. Cannot do so. Vaughn now back kind of in that sweeper role. Looking around, and there's just simply not a lot open right now for KU as Westchester defense is sticking to them like glue. Back to Klein. Klein with all the time in the world if she wants it, but she's going to have to complete a far pass to Bowman and is unable to do so. Bowman comes up with it, though, on the bounce. Bowman has Fitzpatrick up ahead if she wants her. And again, this is kind of something that we've seen throughout here in the first half. Gabriel kind of made the mistake on the last play. You've got to just have a little bit more patience. Westchester's putting pressure on you, especially with the ball, but you've got to make sure that you complete those passes. Bowman had Fitzpatrick wide open, and if she just puts a little loft under it and lets Fitzpatrick run under it, it's no problem. But she tries to throw with a hot potato, and Fitzpatrick can't handle it, and it goes out of bounds. So kind of KU kind of playing into – and it's a very interesting thing to me because Bloomsburg used this a lot of trapping and double teaming, and KU made it look dumb, and that's a big shot there by Barnett as now Westchester takes the 6-1 lead. But as we were saying, KU looked really good against the trap on Tuesday night. Certainly was able to pass out of it effectively, work the ball around, and get a bunch of easy goals with Bloomsburg out of position on the double team. Tonight, the double team, especially in the transition area, the midfield, has given KU a lot of problems, and they just haven't been able to clear the ball. And without the ball in your own offensive end, you're going to struggle to score, and that's why you're looking at a 6-1 deficit now with 8 minutes left here in the first half. So that's Barnett's first goal of the game, her 29th of the season, to add to 1 assist here in the first half. Westchester up 6-1. Now, we've seen KU with the ability to respond in the second half. Outscored Gannon 7-2, outscored Bloomsburg 9-1. But no offense to those two squads, but they are not quite the caliber of number 12 Westchester. And it is going to be tough sledding for KU here in the second half to climb what is now an uphill battle in this game, down 5. But again, we saw it the other night. Michaela Bowman got a big goal to cut the deficit to 1 before halftime, and that kind of gave KU the spark that it needed to come out in the second half. Gabriel was excellent at the beginning of the second half. KU went on a 6-0 run, and the game totally changed at that point. So for KU here in the last 7:45, you've got to find a way to keep the Golden Rams off the board, maybe get 1 or 2 of your own, and go into halftime with the game in a manageable position. That's kind of what we talked about pregame, and right now, down 5, it's starting to get to the point where it's no longer manageable. Back behind the net, Golden Rams surveying. Not a lot of room there as the drive is shut off. Drive of Wendig shut off by the KU defense, but a foul called there. So a tough foul to commit when you're going 1-on-4. Wendig was clearly swarmed by the Golden Bears, but they commit the foul. Now Wendig with the free position right in front, and Haley Klein's got to come up huge here with her team already down 5. Shot by Wendig, low and wide, and I think Riley Hill got there first. Yes, she did, as a nice play by Hill is going to get the ball back over to KU and in Klein's stick. Klein really hasn't shown that she's able to really make the long pass like we've seen goaltenders make it, but she's still going to go for it, and Bowman checks back and makes the play, but now Bowman loses it out of her stick on the run. So Michaela moving a little bit too fast and not cradling it, but now Bowman comes away with it for a second. And a breakneck play there. A lot of pace on that play. Bowman lost it, had it back, but KU going to retain possession. That's Hill in the back end. Special shout-out on the broadcast tonight to those listening back in the Midwest in Iowa. Got some Kutztown fans back there that sent in a request for a shout-out, so there you go. Appreciate you listening into the broadcast tonight, and I know that you are big Golden Bear supporters, so we thank you from the Heartland to the East Coast here. In the back end, now moving forward, Golden Rams on the run, and this is a pretty offensive possession as they move it into the end. Tic-tac-toe passing, comes down to Stella. Stella with the face dodge, high and wide, but that's about how you draw it up in practice, as if there were no defenders on the field, just ripping the ball back and forth amongst each other, and Stella with a great opportunity at the end of that play in front of goal, unable to put it in the net. So now 5:57 left, Westchester on offense again, and KU needing to find a way to keep the Golden Rams out of the net. Nighttime officially setting in here as 7:40 the local time here from Kutztown. And really a beautiful night. Could use to be a little bit warmer for April 5th, but no complaints here other than the product on the field right now. Not a whole else to complain about. Altman now with a free position in front. Klein's going to have to do it again. Pass in front to Barnett, and that's just about as easy as it gets. KU lost track of Barnett. Altman flips it to Barnett on the near post. Klein not having much of a chance on that, and KU kind of huddling up as a team in their own back end, minus their couple players on the attacking end as they move their way back up the field, and much needed, especially defenders needing to get back on the same page and really just try to collect themselves down 6 here, as this one is starting to look like Westchester. Well, Westchester's certainly in control, but it's starting to look like it's going to be an insurmountable task here, down 6. 5:35 left here. And like we said before, I mean, certainly now that Westchester's gotten another goal, KU's got to find a way to get one or two before the half to try and just cut into the deficit a bit before the halftime whistle. Looking at a 7-1 deficit, the comeback is the possibility of the comeback is already slim, but will certainly be slimmer the further down it goes. That's Stella into the offensive end, and she is thwarted, but only as far as a foul, as Stella now on the near side on the free position. Klein set to go head-to-head with Stella. Stella might have some options in the middle, but on the near side, it looks like she's going to shoot herself. Nope, Stella's going to back it out. Westchester going to elect to possess the rock. They've got the whole shot clock if they want it. Now that's Stella on the near side, finds number 30. Actually, no 30 on the roster, so not exactly sure who that is. But if we can get some confirmation on it, we'll let you know. As it's now worked back around, Altman back behind the net. And that is Morrissey looking in front. Morrissey still with it. Morrissey spin move, double teamed. Morrissey loses it, but a foul called there on Watkins. And that really is the difficulty of playing defense in women's lacrosse. You have to be so pinpoint with your checks. Anything just a little off is going to be called for a foul, and that's going to give the player a great opportunity in front of the net. Boy, it looks like the referee did not see that. Smith definitely got an early start there on the free position. No goal there, so Smith gets an early start on the free position. No shot. Rams do get a shot off, but it finds its way off the crossbar and stays out. So KU gets a break there and now must convert and really take one thing at a time. Let's get this ball out of our own end first before doing anything on the offensive end. That's Watkins down the middle. Watkins has room. Now can flip it off, and that's a much better job there by KU to clear its own end. And Michaela Bowman, much like we saw on Tuesday night, able to move it all the way down on the pass from Watkins. Bowman in her own corner, looking to get rid of it, and is able to do so to Watkins. Watkins pressing. Now thought about backing it out. Bounce shot by Watkins. That one's deflected by Clemens, but found behind the net by Cafferata. Cafferata double-teamed. Got to get rid of it, and that's going to be a foul called on the Golden Rams. So a shot clock will reset here with 90 seconds on the clock and 3:49 left here in this one. Cafferata with it when the whistle blows for the reset. That's Schmidt behind the net. Schmidt on the right. Schmidt surveying the field. Nobody in the middle right now for KU. Schmidt tried to take it to the cage herself. Able to get inside and will draw the free position from a tough angle, but she'll have an opportunity for it as Schmidt on the near side trying to put KU, cut the deficit down to 5 and get KU's second goal of the game and second one on the free position. Lehman scored on the free position a little while ago. Now Schmidt looking to do the same. Schmidt with the pass across. Good look there, but a high shot from Bowman, I believe, goes out of bounds. KU gets the possession back. Looked like half the team didn't know that they still had the ball as Bowman was walking back thinking that it was going to be a turnover, but instead Bowman ends up with it now in front of the net. Bowman drives, has to back it out. Now will decide to drive again on the right hand, and she is thwarted, but that's a foul there on Stella. So Westchester has given up a few free positions here in the last little bit. KU able to convert on the one from Lehman, and now, boy, if she wants her, but now the Golden Rams see it at the last second. Schmidt was wide open on the back post and could have taken an easy feed on the free position as soon as the whistle blows, but now instead Schmidt covered in the free position. Now for Bowman. Bowman shot, bounced in there, and Clemens comes up huge again on the inside, and a foul called on KU. So Clemens took that one, I think, off of her arm. It wasn't a save with the stick, but again, as a former lacrosse goaltender, sometimes you don't have to make the move at it. You just simply have to stand there and let it hit you, and that's what Clemens did there, and that is a huge save as Westchester now moving the ball in transition. Quickly here, and Klein comes up with a save. So Klein answers Clemens with a save. Klein with a wild pass out, and it finds Bowman, but a foul called on the clear as Klein was contacted on trying to make the pass. Boy, for KU, you'd like to them just let that one play on as Bowman, with some speed, had a lot of space to the outside if she wanted it. 2:35 and the clock running here in the first half. KU down 7-1. Gabriel on the far side. She is stopped there. Gabriel continues to play on. More fouls there from the Golden Rams as Gabriel is now brought back and the whistle blown for a reset. Gabriel, again, tries to get rid of it and just loses it in the back end. Uncharacteristically, bad play there by Gabriel. And now on the run, the Golden Rams, and Darcy couldn't do anything else but commit the foul. So, kind of talked about the theme. And your team, especially when looking at a 6-goal deficit, you start to press and you start to try to do everything individually. And that's what we saw there from that possession by Gabriel. She just didn't give up the ball even when getting double-teamed. Eventually turns it over, and now it could really get ugly here in the first half. Westchester with a chance to go up 8-1 with 2:05 left. Shot there, and it'll beat Klein. So that shot by number 12, Drew McKinney. She gets on the board. McKinney, the freshman from Downingtown, gets her first goal of the game, and Westchester takes an 8-1 lead. So 2:02 left here in the first half, and Westchester all over KU now, leading 8-1. So today, April 5th, just kind of give you a flyby of what's going on around here at KU or with the KU teams this weekend, both men and women track at the Colonial Relays. Baseball will host Lock Haven on Friday and then travel to LHU on Saturday for a 4-game series. Doubleheaders on both days beginning at 1 p.m. The Kutztown University softball team will take on Millersville in a doubleheader at home tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Women's tennis travels to Jefferson tomorrow for a 3 p.m. start time. And then as far as this weekend, tennis facing off against Shepherd on Saturday. Women's Lax taking on Edinburgh at 1 p.m. here from Andre Reed Stadium on Saturday. And going to need a big answer to what looks like is going to be a tough result tonight for the Golden Bears. 1:30 left here in the half. Again, 1 goal at a time is the only way to approach this. That pass from Watkins to Smith, tough to handle, but Smith ends up with it. Smith up top, out to Watkins, working it around to Carlucci. Carlucci, now that's on the far wing, back up top to Watkins. Watkins to Schmidt. Schmidt looking for any space on the inside, and that's one thing the Golden Rams have been good about. Sure, they've given up a few free positions, and they can thank their goaltender for saving multiple of those. The pass inside to Gabriel. Gabriel, I believe, was fouled on the inside, she'll have the opportunity to free position. So again, the Golden Rams have given up a few free positions here in the first half, and the game could easily be 8-4, 8-5, but Clemens has made some big saves. But what Westchester has not done is given up the easy goal in transition or any real offensive sets. KU's had to work for everything it's gotten, and a bounce shot there by Gabriel through the wickets there of Clemens, and that is the second goal of the game for KU, and a big one before half. As with 45 seconds left, KU cuts into the lead and now trails 8-2. So for Gabriel, that is 28 on the season. Gabriel came into this game 2 assists shy of becoming the school record holder in assists. Gabriel pretty much owns just about every offensive school record there is and will soon own the assist record as well. Already owns the goals and points record, does the senior Sarah Gabriel from Felton, PA. But maybe that's what kind of gets Gabriel back on the right track. She struggled here in this game, especially in the midfield. A couple uncharacteristic turnovers and just doesn't look comfortable with the ball, and that's not what you usually see from Sarah. But she gets herself a goal here with 45 seconds left. Who knows, KU could get the draw control quick and put another one on the board. But Gabriel, we kind of saw get hot in that game against Bloomsburg in the second half, scoring 3 of her 6 goals during KU's 6-0 run to open up the second half, and we'll see if she can do something similar here to get her team back in the game. KU didn't come away with the draw control right away, but a nice play by Smith, and she's able to knock it away from Westchester and ends up with the ball. Dishes it off to Watkins. Watkins on the left hand, takes it into the net, passes there to Carlucci. Unable to come up with it at first, and KU kind of makes a mess of that after losing it. Pass from Watkins to Carlucci was not on target, and Carlucci couldn't come up with it, and Cafferata and Carlucci kind of teamed up to kick it out of bounds. So tough way for KU to end the first half, as Westchester going to ride it out and let the time tick down, and that will do it here for the first half from Andre Reed Stadium with your score, Westchester 8 and Kutztown 2 in PSAC women's lacrosse action. So we'll step aside and be back here with the first half stats and the second half action here from Andre Reed Stadium. Again, the score, Westchester 8 and Kutztown 2. You're watching Kutztown University Women's Lacrosse on the Golden Bear Network. All right. Back just in time for the opening draw here in the second half. Your score 8-2 in favor of Westchester. As we get set to go here for the second half from Andre Reed Stadium, I'll just run down the first half stats shortly. That's Schmidt, the junior Lauren Schmidt from Hanover with the draw control, and KU in possession. So in the first half, Westchester with 15 shots compared to 10 for KU, 12 ground balls for the Golden Rams, 7 for the Golden Bears. 4 draw controls for WCU, 7 for KU, 7 for 8 on clears for Westchester compared to just 5 for 8 on clears for Kutztown, 4 for 6 on the free position shots for the Golden Rams, and 2 for 4 for KU. Westchester's goaltender, Clemens, with 6 saves, the freshman, and 4 saves for KU's freshman in net, Haley Klein. 12 turnovers for Kutztown compared to 7 for Westchester. That is the first half stats there. As we are now back set and playing here in the second half, and KU really just needs to get themselves on the board. Yep, first half stats sponsored by KUBears.com. You can find all of your Kutztown athletics needs on www.KUBears.com. It's Bowman out front, foul called. The referee had a card out for a second, and yep, she has picked the chosen player. Not sure if that's going to be a card. No, but she's just going to move Stella out. So Stella's been all around the action. She's had a card tonight. She's had a couple goals. So definitely been right around the ball all night has Maggie Stella. And that foul called on Stella is going to give Bowman a free position on the far side. KU down 6. We were kind of talking 5 goals is kind of a tough deficit to come back from, but still doable. You're able to score very quickly. You just got to continue to win that draw control to keep the ball out of the other team's hands. But looking at 6, 7, 8, as KU might have been facing, they were in trouble. That shot by Bowman wide and picked up on the bounce. Nice pickup there behind the net by Brenna Lynch, the sophomore from Richboro, Pennsylvania, by way of Archbishop Wood High School. And Lynch with the ball in the transition area. That one almost knocked away by Watkins. Westchester on the chase. Good forecheck by Watkins to knock it away momentarily. Golden Rams going to continue to have possession here on the far side. Turned over for a moment, but scooped right back up. So I know we had noticed it a little bit and just didn't really see it nearly as much in the Bloomsburg game, but from both sides, the ball seems to kind of want to pop out of the stick here tonight. And KU's had a couple balls dropped and kind of having to regather themselves, and Westchester has had quite the same. I think we saw it during warm-ups up here, and it's only continued during the game. That ball a little bit, maybe a little greased up tonight, just hard to keep inside the stick. But KU now able to possess, and that's Bowman on the far side, and Bowman had a chance on the free position, and Michaela looking to crack that Westchester defense and get a third goal and really cut the deficit down to 5. Like we said, that may be kind of a magic number in where, sure, you're still kind of down and out, but it's within striking distance. And for KU, they're trying to get it down to 5 right now. Schmidt, near side, good take to the net, and she finishes. Swim move there by Schmidt and puts it home in the top of the netting over Clemens. So that's a great move there by Schmidt as she circles around the goal and deposits it in the back. And now KU does cut it down to 5 as the score 8-3 now in favor of the Golden Rams. For Schmidt, that is her first of the game and her 17th of the season. Third on the team behind Bowman, who has 20, and Gabriel, who I now believe has 28 with her one today. So the 3 goals for KU, Gabriel and Schmidt scoring, or Gabriel and Lehman, scoring in the first half, and Schmidt now scoring to open up the scoring here in the second half with 27-25 left. KU cuts the deficit to 5. Again, Kutztown has been a very good second-half team, especially in these last 2 games. We'll see if maybe that has it brimming with confidence as the draw control won now by Emily Smith. And that was one of the things that we said you got to do when you're looking to come back is win some draw controls. And now it's worked back to Darcy over to Lehman. Lehman's got a ton of space if she wants it. And this time Lehman's going to eat it up. Good job there by Amanda to get it into the offensive end. That's Bowman now on the near side. Bowman's got a lot of room. Could have gone left if she wanted it. Now Michaela back behind the net. Double teamed is Bowman. Bowman with those good wheels looking out in front. Had a cutter for a second. Comes back down to Bowman. Still has control on the far end, but she is being hounded by two Golden Ram defenders. Foul called there, as it looks like number 6, Madison Staska, was not happy with the foul call. They had the double team set up perfectly on Bowman, but KU lives to see more possession as the foul called, and now that is, looks like that's going to be Allison McCormick with it. Near side here, back behind the net. That's Carlucci. She likes to feed from back there, but nothing doing so far. Now Carlucci finds Watkins. Watkins cannot seem to keep the ball on the stick. Again, been a tough night for players to hold on to it. Bowman with a hot pass. That's tough to handle for Schmidt. Ball being kicked around in the offensive end. Who's going to come out with it? And the Golden Rams will do just that, as that is Kate Zuccarello, junior from Hillsborough, New Jersey, that comes away with it. And ball is played back to Clemens, who sauces one up there to Staska, and Staska able to move it forward into the offensive end, and that is McKinney running right past everybody. McKinney, another freshman from Downingtown West High School. A couple players from Downingtown on this Westchester team, and McKinney moving that one into the front end that time, as it's back with Casey Kelly, the sophomore from Windsor, New Jersey, Notre Dame High School product, back out front, and now that's Altman directing traffic. Altman on the inside. Feed went for Emily Schultz, and Schultz draws the foul. So Altman, just a sophomore, not only the second leading goal scorer on the team and second leading point getter, but really doing a nice job of resetting the offense, kind of showing some senior-type leadership out there in resetting and working for a good possession. Gets it off to Schultz. She earns the free position and deposits it in the back. So some expert analysis that was given up here during halftime. When you're facing that big deficit, not only do you have to score, but you have to keep the other team off the board, and it's just really hard to do that. And that's just how easy it can be. You give up the free position, and they're able to score, and now KU back to the 6-goal deficit. They were able to win that draw control and had an opportunity in the offensive end. Unfortunately, couldn't convert, and a team like Westchester is certainly going to make you pay, and they do so there as they get a big 9th goal, and the score now 9-3 with 25-12 left here in the second half. Draw control. That is Schmidt in there for KU. Goes back towards the Westchester end, but that's scooped up there by Stella. Stella on the run. Oh, she's got Barnett wide open, and Barnett carrying it into the offensive end. Barnett finds Altman. That's that 1-2 combo for Westchester. Altman drives it herself. Reckless abandon to the inside. It's kicked around and eventually scooped up now. Foul called first, but it was eventually scooped up there by Brenna Lynch. Lynch with the ball here on the near side. Lynch, whistle blows, back in possession. That's Barnett. Out top. Schultz with it. Schultz drives to the net. She's got space. Back behind the goal. Looking out front, nothing doing there for the Golden Rams. Back out top, and a foul called before the ball worked out to Barnett. Foul's going to go there on, I believe that's number 29, Emily Smith, the junior from Philly. So Smith takes the foul, and that is now Maggie Stella on the near side. Getting tired of saying her name tonight, but she's on the free position once again. Stella to the net, bounce shot, and somehow, I think that hit off the inner leg of Klein, but stayed out of the net. So Klein doesn't always make it look the prettiest in net, but is very solid in her spot and certainly has been able to keep some of these free positions out of the goal, and really that's just made the game even a little bit more manageable. Westchester's had a couple more opportunities to really tack it on. Getting a little bit of discussion here between our refereeing crew, trying to sort something out. Going to go over to the table and have a little bit of discussion here with the clock stopped and 23-29 left here in the second half. Referees looking to sort it out with our game management staff headed by Haley Harnden down at the table. But for now, we are at a stoppage here in the second half with KU down 6. Now back in play as everything ironed out, and we're ready to continue. That's Altman with the ball on the far side, back behind the net. Stella curling around. Now finds Barnett on the near side. Barnett has some space going left, and what a move. Oh, and she whiffed on the shot. But a nice little 1-2 step there from Barnett, and she left the KU defender in her tracks, but was unable to get the shot off as Klein comes away with it, and KU is going to be able to move it out. So sort of, yeah, you're sure you're down 6, and it's definitely, starting to get to the point where you've really got to chip into it to get back into the game, but it's sort of been the bend but don't break defense here from the Golden Bears, at least over the last 7 or so minutes since the second half started. They've certainly given up some opportunities to Westchester, but whether it be on the free position or just simply a whiff shot, they've been able to avoid allowing too many goals, and if you're looking at the score in just the second half, it's 1-1. Unfortunately, you do still have to count the 8-2 advantage that the Golden Rams had after the first 30 minutes of play, which is why the total score 9-3 right now. Into the middle, that's Schmidt, got space. Schmidt, good feed to Watkins. Watkins in front, tried to sidestep a defender and not able to finish. And if you're Watkins and you could have that back, just shoot it when you catch it. There's no need to sidestep there when you're right on the doorstep. And that sidestep move causes her to turn it over. And now a great outlet pass made there by Clemens. Fortunately for KU, a foul called as Sarah Gibri was off to the races for Westchester in the midfield, but nice pass made there by Clemens. And really, Westchester is a strong team. You could just tell by the way that they play, the crispness of their passing, effectiveness of them on the offensive end. But when you have somebody like Julianne Clemens in net, it's like the rich just getting richer. Not only do they have good players on the field, but they have an equally as strong keeper on the back end, and that's a tough team to beat, and there's a reason why they're undefeated and ranked number 12 in the country. Morrissey now on the near side, and that's number 7, Alexis Einzig, freshman, kind of a local product from Reading, Exeter Township High School. For the Golden Rams, near side, that's Schultz. Schultz circling, back behind the net, looks for Morrissey. Morrissey looking for a cutter on the far side, and that's a beautifully drawn-up play, but the pass incomplete, and Riley Hill able to send it back into the crease as Klein came away with it. Lehman has it in her stick, loses it for a second, but a foul called. Lehman on the run. But again, that's a case of where the ball just seems to be popping out of the stick more often than usual tonight. Riley Hill, or that's Shannon Darcy on the run. Darcy finds Schmidt. Schmidt with all kinds of space. KU's got a 3-on-2. Schmidt into the zone, and a shot by Schmidt. Does KU get there? Yes, they do. But again, that's a case of when you're trying to press, you're not playing that team game, and Schmidt tries to do it herself and is unable to convert. Luckily, Gabriel was there at the end line. KU keeps possession. Michaela Bowman curling around the net. Bowman in, being swarmed and hacked on the inside as Bowman will now draw the free position. 20:59 left here in the second half. KU down 6. Kayla looking to get on the board today. Came into this one with 20 goals and 12 assists. Did the junior from Lansdale, the North Penn High School product. Bowman inside on the free position. Whiffs on the shot, but Carlucci back there to make the play. So that Westchester defense has been providing a lot of help all night. And really, KU just hasn't had any one-on-one opportunities. Pass in front intended for Fitzpatrick is broken up by the goaltender Clemens. Golden Rams going to have a chance to move it out. But yeah, KU's been limited in its one-on-one opportunities because of how well the Golden Ram defense has been helping one another Very similar. I mean, what you see on the defensive end, as much as it's one-on-one, it's very similar to a zone defense in where if you beat your man one-on-one, it's expected that the next player is going to rotate over and step up and help in that situation. And the Golden Rams have been excellent in that tonight in keeping KU's opportunities limited by really just keeping them from getting too far in front of the net. Nice move there, saved by Klein, but a foul called first. So that move by Lynch was textbook, really a nice face dodge as she beats the defender, earns the free position, and now Lynch with a chance to make it double digits for the Golden Rams. Lynch from sort of the right hash there on the free position, and basically the 10-yard line of the football field. Referees setting players in their specific spots and ready to blow the whistle as Lynch on the free position. Lynch, free position shot, bouncer, and it is right of Klein and in the net. So now 10-3, the Golden Rams take a 7-goal lead, and that may just do it. Obviously, still 20 minutes left to play, but the result pretty much decided now with KU down 7. And we'll see if it's able to avoid the running clock, which we know will happen after 10 goals. But right now, it's not looking too good for KU to be able to pull this one out. But again, there's kind of two ways to treat a game like this. Sure, you came in with, probably expecting your team to play a little bit better than this, down 7, having only managed 3 goals. But you've got to try to kind of look at the glass half full and learn from what's been a tough game for you tonight. Your team's been playing well, especially over the last 2. Really, those games at IUP and Chip were well-played games by your team. You just didn't come out on top. Then you got 2 wins back-to-back in conference play at Gannon, home against Bloomsburg, riding a lot of momentum coming into this one. But, momentum can only take you so far. You got to have talent and the skill. And against a team like Westchester, it's just your talent just isn't matching up tonight. But despite that, you've got 2 very winnable games over the next couple days on Saturday against Edinboro and then on Monday, April 9th at home against Slippery Rock. So you've got to have a short-term memory here after this one and kind of take from this game what you can, but also forget about it and really try to focus on what you did well in the previous 2 games against Gannon and Bloomsburg, because those things will work, especially against teams like Edinboro and Slippery Rock. But tonight, whether it be a combination of fatigue or just simply not being as good, KU has been overmatched by what is a strong Golden Ram squad that is going to, any other team in the PSAC is going to have a tough time beating Westchester. Already 4-0 and looking like it will go to 5-0 and 10-0 overall after tonight. Fouled hard on the inside is Emily Smith, knocked to the turf. That one's going to probably leave a little rug burn there on Emily. But she's going to draw a free position. I think it's going to be out in front of the net. And should be a good opportunity for Smith, who doesn't have one yet tonight. Smith on the free position, near side. She's got a lot of space, and that stick high by Clemens. So we'll see if, especially the way she's setting up, we'll see if Smith can go low and just kind of beat Clemens' stick. She goes low right through the legs, and that's how you dial it up. Emily Smith gets herself on the board. The junior from Philly scores her first one of the game, and KU now with its 4th goal, trailing 10-4 with 18:52 left here in the game. Good one there by Smith, and kind of just reading exactly what she had. She saw the goaltender Clemens set up high and really kind of baiting her into shooting that high shot. But Smith said, I'll take the open space and put it right through the 5-hole for the easy bounce shot goal. And that was a man up for Kutztown. So Westchester had a player in the box. So a man up goal for Smith on the free position, her 10th of the season and first of the game. Smith's first shot as well. KU hanging around. Westchester still in the driver's seat firmly with a comfortable 6-goal lead. But again, if you're looking for things to take out of this game, you look at the second half. it's even 2-2 against the number 12 team in the country. Sure, you can't let yourself get down 8-2 after one, but you've got to try to make every game, you either win or you learn. And in this case, I don't think you're going to win, so you've got to find a way to learn. And certainly here in the second half, KU's found something that has worked better. Turnover in the midfield. Nice play by Smith. She could go all the way if she wants. She's got a wide-open player in the middle. Great pass there by Smith. Shot, and it is off. There is the shot by McCormick. So McCormick didn't exactly look too comfortable in front of the net. But, boy, Smith deserved the assist on that. Coming up with the caused turnover back by the 30-yard line and making the right pass, the extra one, to a wide-open McCormick, who is not able to score. And honestly, give credit to Clemens once again in the net. She stands tall, makes a big save. On the run here, flipped off to Fitzpatrick. That's a nice play by Riley Hill to draw the double and dish. Fitzpatrick into the front end. Devon's got space, going to dish it back. That's Smith. Fakes towards the net. Smith now with it, and that is exactly what we've seen all night. Good help by the Golden Ram defense, and they force a big turnover as Smith runs in to, I believe that was 26, Brenna Lynch down there. Now the Golden Rams looking to respond and really put this game out of reach. 17:25 left. Flipped off there. Westchester enjoying some possession now in their own end. Stella now with it up top. Near side Barnett. Barnett back to Stella. Working it around the perimeter. Chris passing. That one a little bit errant and a foul committed there. Smith tried to jump the passing lane once again. Couldn't get there and committed the foul on Stella. But a good thought by Smith. KU, I mean, especially facing a 6-goal deficit, if you're really still trying to win this game, you got to put some pressure on Westchester when they have possession. You can't just let them run down the shot clock all 90 seconds every time. You're just from a time standpoint, you're just not going to have enough time to come back. Altman with it. Altman, near post. That's a great pass and a shovel. Oh, shot there by Morrissey is off. Saved there by Klein, but the Golden Rams come up with it behind the net. That was almost a highlight-worthy top 10 play there by Morrissey. Kind of got herself in an awkward position and sort of just tried to sweep it into the net, but it was kept out there by Klein. That's Barnett now, far side. Shot clock did reset, so Westchester enjoying more possession. Near side, Altman. She's looking to find the middle. Thought about the give off. Now instead finds Stella on the backside. That pass nearly too hot to handle for Morrissey. But now back over as that's going to be reset now by Emily Schultz. Schultz drives the middle. Shot by Schultz. Too hot to handle. Right past Klein. And that's a big goal there for Westchester. Puts it ahead 11-4. Schultz, the junior from Harleysville, North Penn High School, so I'm assuming that Bowman and Schultz must have been high school teammates, both the same year, both juniors, and both from North Penn. Schultz getting the best of her high school teammate Bowman tonight in this one. But always kind of cool to see that. You see that a ton in the PSAC, whether it be, or in the PSAC, whether it be on the same team or on other teams within the league. You see a lot of people that were high school teammates or maybe even high school foes and still kind of going up against each other in their collegiate careers. Kind of cool when you think about it, kind of playing against that same competition for your entire life and sort of having that bond, whether it be an opponent or a former teammate with somebody on the other side of the field. Getting reset here. And now 15:37 left, and Westchester balloons its lead back to 7. On the goal by Schultz, her second of the night. The assist by Tara Morrissey. That is 10 even for Emily Schultz. So this weekend we talked about KU's next game will be against Edinboro at 1 o'clock on Saturday. So KU will take on Edinboro at 1 on Saturday. Other games on Saturday, Seton Hill at home against Shippensburg. Lock Haven at home against Mercyhurst. East Stroudsburg at home against IUP, and Westchester hosting Gannon. Only one game on the slate tomorrow, and that will be Millersville against Slippery Rock. So we're approaching a halfway mark here left in the second half. KU in the offensive end, and that is Michaela Bowman with it. Back to Schmidt. That's Watkins on the near side. Again, KU really was able to get itself into that area in front of the net, as it does right now. Shot by Schmidt is deflected wide. But against Bloomsburg, KU was getting itself to the front of the net, especially the player with the ball right now, Sarah Gabriel, who I think is just going to give it over to the Golden Rams after a foul is called on the inside. Yes, she will. But Gabriel especially, but really just collectively, the Golden Bears were able to get on the inside and score from kind of that point-blank penalty crease-esque area, kind of inside the free position area. But tonight, they've been limited to, kind of keeping themselves extended behind that yellow line and really have not been able to get in, as that has been how the Westchester defense has been able to shut out KU from really having too many offensive opportunities, and that's why we're looking at 11-4 as the score. Pass inside, and that's going to be a foul committed there. Einzig draws it, and she will have an opportunity, the freshman. Here, like we said, kind of back in her home area, the product of Exeter Township, Reading native, will have a chance to get herself on the board here in familiar territory. To the net, Einzig, bounce shot, and before, not really sure, it looked like our referee on the near side had a card up, nothing doing. Klein knocks it behind the net, puts some pressure on Morrissey back there, but now is back inside the cage. Morrissey back out, now that's Barnett. See if Westchester is content to just kind of work the ball around. Again, the shot clock put in place starting this season to eliminate kind of exactly what you're going to see on this possession, but at least teams only can waste a minute 30 per possession, where I think if this was the era before the shot clock, you just see Westchester continue to pass it around the perimeter until KU could come up with a steal, or if it couldn't, really just waste the clock away. But now a free position called here, and that is number 20, Emily Schultz, with the opportunity. So chance for a hat trick here for Schultz, and her second free position goal in as many tries. Schultz, ready. Referee blows the whistle. Schultz to the net, bounce shot, and Klein can only save so many of those, as that one through the legs of Klein and finds the back. And now the score 12-4, and if Westchester can put two more in, the running clock will start going here at Andre Reed. Just a reminder to all those listening out there, follow KU Athletics on social media at KU Golden Bears on Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. Got to plug our social media handles, and you will see if you go over to our Twitter account tonight, pushing out live highlights of the game, courtesy of our student assistant here, James Morta, on the computer, and Olivia Novak working the camera for the highlights tonight. And I know they've been getting some good traction, and it's, if it was our choice, we'd be able to do that for every sport, and we're working our way towards that. But we appreciate the feedback and love that we've gotten on that, and we'll continue to try to bring you what we consider is a great product here from Kutztown Sports Information and for KU Athletics in years to come. Draw control one there by KU. They working it around their back end, and that's Darcy with a whipped pass, but that one just stolen out of the air there. That's a nice play by Trisha Baud, freshman from West Deptford. Now swinging it onto the far side. Back up to Baud. She thought about it, but now is just going to elect to back it out smartly, and now that's Barnett here on the near side. So it's kind of looking down their roster and not to put a scare into the rest of the teams in the PSAC as if they weren't already scared of the Golden Rams, but looking at their top 5 goal scorers, Barnett, a junior, Altman, a sophomore, Stella, a junior, Morrissey, a sophomore. So their top 4 goal scorers and their 2 players that are tied with 11 goals, Not sure about them, but those top 4 goal scorers, none of them graduating, so they'll all be back. And I'm just looking down their roster, and they only have 1 senior on their entire roster. So the Golden Rams aren't only good this year, but if this year is signs of things to come, the PSAC better watch out for this team. Undefeated this year and ranked number 12 and returning everybody for next year's team. Darcy moving it into the offensive end. That's not exactly Shannon's most comfortable area. And she loses it, but I think a foul called, so Shannon's going to get it back. And kind of in the same way, when you look at KU's roster, only 2 seniors, I believe, on the roster, actually 3. So it's Madison Carlucci and then Sarah Gabriel and our own Olivia Haas, the only 3 seniors on the roster. So KU also a young team, but not quite to the level of where Westchester is at, with also equally as young of a group. That's Bowman with it behind, but I think a whistle has been blown. Yep, looks like we are reorganizing the players on the field with 12:25 left. Bowman back out, and that's actually going to be a free position out front. So looks like Gabriel was fouled, maybe on a cut. Now Gabriel with a golden opportunity here, and for Sarah, it's been a frustrating game. I mean, for the whole team, it's been a frustrating game, but for Sarah, it certainly has been, and you love to see her tack one more on. She's got 1 today in this one, and could make it 1 more here in an opportunity which she expects to convert. Gabriel shot, and it is turned away by Clemens. So it's one of those when things are going well, everything will go right, and when things are going wrong, you just can't seem to buy one. And that's kind of been the case for KU tonight. They've had ample opportunities to make this game a lot closer. And again, that's something to take out if you're Coach Stezzi after the game. You've had a lot of opportunities to make this game a lot more competitive. You just haven't been able to finish, and Westchester has. And that's really been one of the big differences tonight. And, you know, that's something to circle and kind of have your team focus on as the season progresses. Carlucci now finds Schmidt. KU able to get back in possession here. Approaching now the 11-minute mark left here in the second half. Pass inside a little high from Bowman to Carlucci. Scramble for it. 2 KU players there and only 1 Ram there. And it looks like Molly Reinhardt picked it up, but it is going to be a foul. So Carlucci will reset behind the net. Carlucci whips a pass to the inside. Way too hot for Fitzpatrick. And not only is that going to not find Devon's stick, but it's going to roll right back out for Westchester to have a transition opportunity. Golden Rams racing down the field with numbers. That's Barnett on the near side. Barnett makes the move towards goal. Shot towards Klein, and I think she got a piece of it. Yep, she did, so they're going to reset the shot clock. Klein got a piece of it, make the save, or actually, was it not Klein that got a piece of it? And was it Gabriel that took the worst of it? And she is now walking gingerly, but gets back to her feet. But again, been a tough game for the Golden Bears, and Gabriel, as one of those senior leaders, certainly one who's going to feel it the most. But Gabriel personally has just had a tough game, and to add insult to injury, she's struggling with a little bit of a hampered limb down there. She's just kind of limping around. Might have turned an ankle or something there. Don't want to speculate, but Sarah definitely in some pain. And now the Golden Rams on the free position with 10:56 left. That is Stella to the net, and that shot wide, but recovered by Westchester behind. But now a foul is going to be called here. So now KU with an opportunity to reset, and that's Shannon Darcy with it. Darcy upfield, that one knocked out of her stick. Foul called. Foul goes on Alex Wendig. Darcy back to Hill. Hill will run it upfield and has plenty of room. Riley moves it into the offensive end. Hill near side, Bowman. Bowman has some room towards the cage. She's going to take it all the way herself. Shot by Bowman. High and wide. I think she actually stepped in the crease, though. So that will be a turnover there for KU. And again, we've said it, but just kind of hit the nail home. When you start to look at a big deficit, you start to play that individual game. Bowman tries to go 1-on-2 there and just is not able to convert. And you're in a tough spot when you're down 8, especially when you haven't been able to score much on the night and trying to make a comeback, and your team really starts to force things. Gives up an easy opportunity on the offensive end. That was number 15, Baud, getting the shot off. Good save by Klein. She tried to kind of sweep it home all in one motion off the rug, but I think there's going to be a foul called on KU down there, and Baud going to have an opportunity on the free position. Scramble forward in front. KU comes away with it. That is Emily Smith. She's had herself a nice game tonight. One of the few bright spots for KU has been Smith tonight. Couple college turnovers and got herself on the board with a goal. Couple ground balls for M tonight as well, but effort definitely very much collective, especially in a sport like lacrosse, and really Westchester just a very strong team, and KU unable to solve it for most of the night. That's going to be a foul there. Fitzpatrick picks it up on the restart quick, and she'll move it forward. KU now looking to just kind of make the score look a little bit better and really maybe find something to take with it into the next game. Not only the way that they've played here in the second half, outscored 4-2 in the second half, not nearly as bad as that 8-2 first half. They've looked a little better on the offensive end, but Westchester really athlete to athlete seems to match up really well, and it's tough in a game where you can't really hide much, especially with the way that fouls are very much popular. You really have to be able to beat the players on the other team one-on-one, and tonight Westchester has been locking down KU on defense, and on offense, they have been able to beat KU's defense one-on-one and scored some of their goals like that. So now that's Schmidt earning the free position. Schmidt on the near side. You can see Westchester's defense ready to pounce here on Schmidt. If I'm Schmidt, I'm taking a step in there and letting it go. Down 8 goals with 8 minutes left. Time to get yours. Schmidt makes the pass. Shot by Bowman. High and wide. I think that may have gone off the stick of Clemens. And at this point, it probably did, the way she's played in net. But actually, Bowman draws the foul in the free position. So with Schmidt, I told her to get hers, and she didn't. This time, it's Bowman. Get yours and let it go in the middle. And I think Michaela will go to keep it herself. Bowman inside, bounce shot, and a goal down low past Clemens. So Bowman converts and gets herself on the board and cuts the lead down to 7 as KU now trails 12-5. And for Bowman, that is her first one of the game and her 21st of the season. On the free position, 6 shots today for Michaela, 3 on goal, and 1 goal for the junior. (12-5), 8:16 left. Getting ready for another draw control here from Andre Reed Stadium. Like we said, it's a little chilly for April 5th, but other than that, really a beautiful night as the night has completely set in here, 8:43 local time. And like we said, just about 8 minutes remaining. KU down 7 to the number 12 ranked and undefeated Westchester Golden Rams. Schmidt on the draw. She's got maybe some space. Tries to ward off Barnett, but Barnett too strong. Ends up with it, and a foul called now as Barnett on the quick reset. Barnett's got plenty of room to run if she wants it, and will do so. Dumps it off now here to Baud. Baud into the front area or into the offensive zone, and now Westchester will work it around once again, looking to eat up that clock. Here comes the weave play as they overlap. It's sort of what you see like dribble handoffs, and that almost worked out perfectly as that was Einzig wide open on the back post, but the pass from Altman a little off, and Klein comes up with it. Klein finds Darcy. Darcy in the back end. She's looking for someone to give it up to. Nobody helping out Shannon. Shannon finally gets some help as that is, looks like, now back there. Dumped back across. That's number 16. Taylor Small with it. Small moving it upfield. Small loses it. And a foul called, much to the dislike of Schultz, but Small draws the foul. And now into the offensive end. Small finds Smith, and KU will set up shop with less than 7 minutes left. Smith into the zone, draws the foul out top. Foul's going to go on Lexus Einzig. So we're seeing, took me a second there, Taylor Small, the freshman from Poughkeepsie, New York, FDR High School, getting some meaningful time here tonight, albeit with the result mostly decided, but good to see the freshman getting a little bit of PT down the stretch. And you can afford to do that now with the way that the game has gone. Interested to see if Coach Stezzi elects to kind of empty out the rest of her bench here, or what we'll see. Good pass there, feed inside. Bowman had a chance. She'll draw a free position foul. Now Michaela has a chance to add her second goal of the game right out in front of the net. Clemens ready to go. Love to see. I love how Clemens is in the net. Sometimes goalies are more of an intimidation factor than anything else. Clemens smacking those two posts, smacking her cleats before the free position. I'm not sure that it really does anything, but it certainly may affect the psyche of Bowman, who now works her way in. Shot by Bowman, low, and it somehow did not get into the net. I think it made its way through Clemens, but it certainly must have deflected off the freshman goalkeeper, as it does not find its way over the line. Bowman's got to be wondering how on earth does that not go in. Turnover there by the Rams on the far side, so now back to Riley Hill. Emily Smith with it. Into the offensive end again. Got Bowman up top. Back behind instead, that's Carlucci. Mad surveying, can't find anybody. Now looks far side to Smith. Smith with a little space. KU kind of with a stack out in front of the net, looking for a cutter, but nothing doing there. A lot of screening, but nobody able to run free. Fitzpatrick now running free a little bit in the offensive end, gets towards the goal, and that's got to be a foul. Yes, it will be, as Fitzpatrick does a nice job beating her defender. Looked like that was number 12 that she was able to cross up there, Drew McKinney, and Fitzpatrick earns herself a free position opportunity. 5:49 left here. Fitzpatrick ready to go. Clemens again. High with the stick. We'll see if Devin tries to go low with the shot. Fitzpatrick down, and she bangs it off the left leg of Clemens, who comes away with the save. So Fitzpatrick's shot was a little bit altered there by the sandwiching Golden Ram defense, and she is not able to convert. Shot off Clemens, makes another big save, and now the Golden Rams moving it forward and are able to complete the clear. Again, would expect them to work the ball around more unless they have a wide open opportunity, knowing that they've got plenty big enough cushion. They just need to see that time tick down. Near side, foul committed by Darcy. Westchester still going for it, as now that's Schultz looking to score here. Schultz on the free position. 60 seconds on the shot clock. 5 minutes now left in the game. Schultz in towards the goal. Shot low. Good save by Klein. Kicked out of bounds. Last touch by Klein, so that's going to go back over to the Golden Rams. Trisha Baud on the pickup. Baud trying to take it herself. Has got a little space in front, but elects to run the weave and flip it off to Altman. Near side, that's Stella. Schultz now. Flips off here to Einzig. Einzig inside. Nice move there by Einzig. Geez, she gets fouled. But a nice move. And that weave action, the kind of the handoff action that you see the Golden Rams doing, kind of overlapping one another, gets the defense into an area where they have to switch often to the point where there should be a couple holes, and that's what Einzig found there. Found a hole in the defense, got herself to the middle, earns the free position, and the shot off the foot of Klein and stays out. So again, Klein standing tall in net, and without her, this one could easily have been a 10-goal or more game. So KU has Klein to thank for at least the score not looking so one-sided, but just really has not been great in possession tonight. And that continues. The turnover down there, it's going to be a foul. Aggressive play made there by Small. So Small kind of getting some late minutes and getting her money's worth out there, as she will earn a trip to the penalty box and a yellow card, as Westchester now really could just work the ball around for 90 seconds. A man up and with a big lead. They shouldn't have any trouble playing keep away here with an extra attacker. Going to have to deal with a little bit of a double team, but that was a half-hearted one at best. Barnett finds Schultz on the near side. Schultz going all the way to the net. And a block called there, as Schultz now earning a free position attempt. Schultz ready on the right. 3:34 left in the game. Schultz hard to the net. Low shot. It goes through the legs of Klein and hits off the post and stays out. Watkins comes away with it on the scramble, and Destiny's got a lot of room to run. Can she beat Stella? Looks like Destiny's going to do it. Long run for 4, but a good one, and a turnover there by Watkins, as she kind of just had her head down, tunnel vision there, and did not see the Golden Ram player who comes away with the steal. Now Westchester able to move it back out. 12-5 the score. As far as the stats are concerned, Westchester out shooting KU 31-21. 26 ground balls for the Golden Rams compared to 17 for KU. 15 out of 20 on clears for Westchester compared to 12 for 17 for KU, and 13 saves for Kutztown goaltender Haley Klein, 12 for Westchester goalie Julianne Clemens. Westchester into the front. Oh, they've got numbers big time, and that shot high is denied by Klein. She takes a little contact down there. Let's be careful we're not doing anything crazy down there, but it looks like Klein takes some contact, and it'll end up back over with the Golden Bears and Shannon Darcy moving it forward. Darcy on the run. Pretty good wheels for a defender, but she's got to get rid of it. She's drawn a quadruple team now. Back to Lehman. Lehman's got space. This is where I'd love to see Lehman go on the run, and she will do it this time, as Lehman very much able to outpace her opponents. Now the whistle blown once again. That's actually Emily Lieb in there, so another player we haven't seen get a whole lot of time. But the sophomore from East Meadow, New York, making an appearance tonight. Again, the opportunity presents itself down 7 goals with a little more than 2 minutes left to get some players in who don't see a whole lot of PT, and that's going to be a foul on Golden Rams on the near side. Watkins going to move it forward. And she will move it into the offensive end. Again, the ball kind of just pops out of Watkins' stick. And that's, if there's any night where the ball needs to not have a mind of its own, it's when you're going against the number 12 team in the country. And it certainly has added to KU's frustration tonight. They've really just lost the ball on some unforced turnovers and uncharacteristically sloppy in possession. And again, that may be a situation where you're pressing knowing you're going against a team that not only has a big lead, but is some tough competition, and it really just nothing has gone right for KU tonight. And despite all that, you're down 7, but it could have been a whole lot worse. So I think you've got to take some sort of reserves out of this game and use that going forward. Foul called there. Golden Rams working it around their offensive end. Now ticking down towards a minute left here, and hopefully our scoreboard's going to make it the last minute. It was starting to flicker there for a second, but certainly going to make it to put one more goal on the board for Westchester as they now lead 13-5 on that one. Looks like it was Barnett scoring that. And you'd hope that even if KU does not win the draw control, Westchester would call off the Dogs, but we will have to see on that one. But, I mean, really just to get back to that, so 14 saves when we're going through the stats. 14 saves for Haley Klein, 12 for Julianne Clemens. So, really, as much as, it's been a lot of goals scored by the Golden Rams, I think, if you're picking a player of the game for Kutztown, it's really hard to pick anybody that's been in the field. So, you'd have to pick Haley Klein in net. She certainly made it look a little bit better than it could have been. I mean, just looking up here, sure, KU probably could have had 2 or 3 more goals, but Westchester could have had 3, 4, 5 at the very least. So Klein has been doing well once again, and really for a freshman, she's looked good in net. And you just hope that she can't get too discouraged. Sure, she gave up 13 goals tonight, but really wasn't much she could do about it. Schmidt in the offensive end, dumps off there to Lieb. Lieb cannot make the catch. And now Golden Rams back forward. Near side, that's Einzig. Einzig in the middle. Now that's Altman with it. Altman thought about letting one rip from out there, which men's lacrosse, you'd see that all the time, but that would have been a long shot there from Altman. She thought about kicking a leg into it and letting it rip, but instead we'll back it out. Shot clock is off, and we are about 10 seconds away from this one being done, and not a huge fan of that, to be honest, but Altman is going to put another one on the board, and the Golden Rams are going to win this one by a final of 14-5 from Andre Reed Stadium and continue to keep their perfect record in moving it to 10-0 overall and 5-0 in the PSAC. And that last goal notwithstanding, Westchester's played an outstanding game tonight. And really just a smart game, just very well played and not a whole lot of fouls. Just a clean, smart, and all-around solid game from the Golden Rams, which what can you expect with an undefeated team? And really in looking through their schedule before this game, they've had a couple close ones, an 11-10 win at Mercyhurst most recently. But for the most part, they have been on a lot of one-sided wins. See, 20-4, 24-1, 16-3, 12-6, 16-3, 14-7. So Westchester hasn't just been winning; they've been blowing teams out. And that's what happens tonight. Your final here from Andre Reed Stadium. The score: Westchester 14 and Kutztown 5. For Darren Jurgen on the broadcast, James Moore on the computer, Olivia Novak on the camera, and Brian Salvador and CJ Hemmerly on the stats to the left. We appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight and following along with the game. Join us for our next broadcast, but for now, we are saying so long here from Andre Reed Stadium. You've been watching Kutztown University Women's Lacrosse on the Golden Bear Network.